With the new greenhouse update releasing on Skyblock, a brand new feature got added: garden chips. There is a total of 10 unique garden chips, each having their own unique bonus. The way these chips work is that consuming one of them unlocks a chip at rare rarity. Consuming a total of 5 of a chip upgrades to epic, and consuming a total of 21 upgrades it to legendary. The rarity of a chip decides both how much one level of the chip gives and how high the level of the chip can go. A rare chip maxes at level 10, an epic at level 15, and a legendary at level 20. Upgrading a chip costs sowdust, a new currency that you get from farming any crop. Maxing one legendary chip all the way up to level 20 costs 25 million sowdust, so maxing every chip in the garden costs 250 million sowdust. In this video I'll explain how every single chip works and which ones you should prioritize leveling up. First off is the Vermin Vaporizer chip. This chip gives 3 at rare, 4 at epic, and 5 at legendary bonus pest chance per level. At max level it gives 100 bonus pest chance. It's rarely dropped from dragonfly pests at a 1% chance. If you are pest farming, this chip is absolutely required since it makes one additional pest spawn. Therefore, for priorities, this chip gets S tier. The second chip is the Synthesis chip. This chip gives 1 at rare, 1.5 at epic, and 2% at legendary more copper when analyzing mutations. It's rarely dropped when harvesting crops in the greenhouse. Since late game greenhouse content is not that discovered yet, for now I'll put it in the C tier for priorities. Third is the Solid chip. This chip gives 1 at rare, 1.25 at epic, or 1.5 farming wisdom per level at legendary. This chip is bought for 200 copper in the farming essentials tab of the desk. It's a really good chip if you're just trying to get farming 60 or you need to level the pet. But after you're farming 60 or don't have any more pets to level, it becomes pretty obsolete. Therefore I'll put it in the B tier for priorities. The fourth chip is the Mecha Mine chip. This chip gives 1.5 at rare, 2 at epic, or 2.5 at legendary more farming tool experience per level. It is purchased for 1 gold medal at Jacob, and it's useful to get tools to level 50. Beyond level 50, every single 200,000 tool experience you get a vial worth 100k coins to NPC, boosting your profit even more. Therefore this chip is in my eyes an A tier for priorities. The fifth chip is the Hypercharge chip. This chip gives 3% at rare, 4% at epic, and 5% at legendary more farming fortune from temporary sources per level. It is obtained as a rare reward from visitors. This chip, for example, affects the Pest Hunter bonus to go from 200 bonus farming fortune to 400. On top of that, boosting consumables that boost your fortune by 100% as well. This chip can give a lot of fortune in total, and in my eyes therefore it is S tier on priorities. The sixth chip is the Evergreen chip. This chip gives 2% at rare, 2.5% at epic, and 3% at legendary more base drops from crops in the greenhouse per level. It's a rare drop from harvesting crops in the greenhouse. Again, since late game greenhouse is not that well known yet, it's hard to make a valid prediction on how good this chip will be. As of right now, yield is not the main thing you're looking for from the greenhouse anyways, since the main thing you want is to unlock ethereal vines and new mutations. Therefore, right now it's not that necessary yet, so I'll put it on the C tier for priorities. The seventh chip is the Overdrive chip. This chip gives 5 at rare, 6 at epic, or 7 at legendary more farming fortune for the crops featured in a Jacob's contest, and it is bought at Jacob for 2 gold medals. Since this chip gives up to 140 farming fortune for the 3 crops featured in a Jacob's contest, it makes getting higher medals way easier, as well as getting higher scores on your personal bests, giving you even more farming fortune. If you're swapping around crops going for medals, this chip is definitely worth going for. Therefore I'd rank it at a high A tier for priorities. The eighth chip is the Crop Shot chip. This chip gives 3 at rare, 4 at epic, or 5 at legendary more farming fortune per chip level. It can be bought for 500 copper in the farming essentials tab of the desk. This chip is a good all-round boost to farming fortune and is just as useful as it seems to be. Therefore I'll rank it at a low S tier for priorities. The ninth chip is the Quick Draw chip. This chip makes visitors spawn 1.5 at rare, 2% at epic, or 2.5% at legendary faster while harvesting crops per level. It is obtained as a rare reward from visitors. This chip makes getting visitors more quickly easier. It doesn't do that much since visitors aren't that hard to get anyways, so in my opinion it's in the B tier for priorities. The last but certainly not least chip is the Rare Finder chip. This chip makes any rare drop dropped from harvesting crops on the garden 2% at rare, 2.5% at epic, or 3% at legendary more likely to drop. The chip itself is also rarely dropped while breaking any crop on the garden, making it, in my opinion, by far the hardest chip to get. But since there are quite a lot of rare drops breaking crops on the garden, this chip is very good, therefore I'll rank it at a high S tier for priorities. It might not be easy to get to legendary, but if you can, I would put as much sowdust into it as you possible. So with all 10 of the chips ranked, this is the final tier list for priority. That doesn't mean that anything that isn't into S tier shouldn't be upgraded, but I would focus the majority of your sowdust into it. Thanks for watching this video to the very end. If you found it useful, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to my channel if you want more guides like this. And I will hopefully see you in the next video.